Hey guys, so we have the details for Super Saiyan God Goku's Extreme Z Awakening, LR Super Saiyan God Goku's Extreme Z Awakening. Typically don't really do breakdown videos and news videos on Dokkan these days, but granted that this is a global first EZA and it was something we voted on, I figured it was worth covering here just to give my thoughts on this. So let me go ahead and click the Extreme Z Awakened tab here. You know what's funny about this is, for whatever reason, I don't know why they don't do this. Well, I guess I kind of do. Global Dokkan never like teases in advance the EZA details for upcoming characters. Like never. They never have. And so the reason we found out about what this guy is able to do is because they did the data download and we could just see we could just see in the files what this guy does. Again, I think it's just some kind of language issue or something with them not being able to really provide us much info on global. For whatever, it sounds so stupid that that's the reason, but I don't know what else it could be. Anyway, let's take a look at this guy's EZA. So his leader skill is 150% and 4 ki to pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans. Obviously 150% now that we have 200% leader skills is not that great anymore, but think about how expansive this leader skill is. Pure Saiyans or hybrid, it was 130 before this, yeah. I mean, that's pretty... I mean, it's not like exceptionally good just because the stats are going to be so much worse than they could be on a 200% leader, but hybrids and pure Saiyans, that's insane. All right, so then we have the super attack effects. 12 ki is greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, greatly lowers attack, and then ultra super attack, which is greatly raises attack and defense for 5 turns, mega colossal damage, and greatly lowers defense. Okay. So prior to EZA, he only had the 3-turn stack greatly raised in his 18 ki, so that went up by 2 turns, which is actually really good. And it looks like he also gained the greatly lowering attack for 12 ki. That was not there prior to the EZA. Okay. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys right away that I probably would have preferred if this was 3 turns instead of just 1 turn. Like, they bumped this up by 2 turns, then they also bump up the 12 ki by 2 turns. The reason why the 12 ki matters a lot as well is because if you get an additional, the additional super attack effect is not going to be stacking for multiple turns. I think that does matter. I think that does make a big difference. All right, so the passive is To a New Realm. Ki plus 2, attack and defense plus 100%. I think it was 77% before. Yeah, he didn't even get any ki at all prior to that. Well, at least the beginning portion there. Okay. So he gets 2 ki, which is pretty good. Attack and defense 100%, plus an additional attack plus 50% when performing an ultra super attack. That is definitely new. That was not there yet. Or prior to his EZA. That's pretty good. Multiplicative buff on super attack. All right, plus an additional ki plus 1 up to 5, and attack and defense plus 11% up to 55% per pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans. Category ally self-excluded on the team. So basically you need to have, I guess it's not a full team of pure hybrid Saiyans, but because if you're including the friend, that's 6 other characters that you have access to. So you need 5 of the other 6 characters to be on pure or hybrid Saiyans, which I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's definitely going to make you think twice when building a team around this character. This was, I believe, yeah, it was the same. Oh no, he actually only gained defense because this is attack and defense. Okay, so he's actually, yeah, so they added attack to that. That's actually pretty big. Yeah, that is big. So he's starting out with, so assuming you have the full passive active, right? He's starting the turn with 155% attack and defense and 2 ki. That's actually pretty good for a turn 1 character like that. I'll take that. Plus an additional ki plus 3 and defense plus 50% and high chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, and performing a critical hit for 10 turns from the start of turn. All right, so they kept like the sort of like time-gated ability, right? So prior to EZA, he had just a 50% chance to dodge and crit for 7 turns. That was it. Now he has 3 extra ki. He has a 50% defensive increase as well, and he still retains the high chance to dodge and crit for 10 turns. So it goes up by 3 turns. So 10 turns from start of turn, which is basically his first appearance, right? So if he's in slot 7, this is going to be turn 13, I guess, right, is where this wears out. So, I mean, you know, the earliest turn where this is going to be wearing out is like after the 10th turn where he's on rotation, right? So that's a pretty long time. I feel like with the amount of offensive power creep we've gotten recently, especially with, you know, at least on JP, the 8th anniversary characters, you know, we still have characters like Cooler, the Gammas, we have Kid Goku now. So a lot of these super powerful units, a lot of times you don't see turn 10. Now, obviously it's going to depend on how good your teams are, how good your, you know, dupes are, your boxes. But a lot of times I feel like even with like a medium tier team, you're going to be finishing these tough events, aka red zone events, in like 8 to 9 turns a lot of the time. So a lot of the time I feel like even in the most difficult events, you won't really see this run out unless you're running like content that's made to last a long time, like the legendary Goku event and Vegeta event, something like that, right? So not really that upset about this only being 10 turns. And then medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, starting from the 10th turn. Sorry, 11th turn. So after 10 turns have elapsed and it's now the next turn he's on rotation, his chance to dodge and it's only dodge. His chance to dodge goes down to a 30% chance, medium chance. Okay, so it looks like he loses the full crit, which I don't think he even did that prior to EZA. Yeah, so basically after 7 turns elapsed, he lost all of his dodge chance and crit chance. But now at least he keeps a 30% chance to dodge. Okay, so he seems pretty good. I mean, again, he's getting, assuming you have his full passive, which I think if you're going to be running this character anyway, you are going to have his full passive, because otherwise I don't really feel like there's a reason to run him in a lot of times, right? Regardless, you want to have his full passive active, so I'm just going to assume that you do. So he's starting out with 2 ki. Actually, no, he's starting out with 5 ki, because he's getting this, right? So he's starting out with 5 ki, attack plus 155%, and defense plus 205%, right? Because he's getting 100% defense here, 55% defense here, and then he's getting 50% defense here for 10 turns. And then on super attack, he's getting an extra multiplicative 50% attack. So 155% attack, 205% defense with a multiplicative 50% attack buff. Plus he's greatly stacking for 5 turns on 18 ki. And he's greatly stacking, greatly raising for 1 turn. Again, I think if I had to make one change to this character, it would probably be just to make this 3 turns instead of just 1 turn. That would actually make a pretty big difference, because if you get additionals, like think about you have 2 turns in a row where you 18 ki and then you 12 ki. Both of those 12 ki supers are going to be stacking on top of each other for those turns. It does make a difference. So that's the one change I would personally make to this character, but I don't think he's really going to be that underwhelming. I think I've seen a lot of people already on social media, a little bit late to cover this, but I've seen some people pretty negative about this character's EZA. I don't really see an issue here. The one thing I'm really happy they did was I'm happy that they gave him the additional ki buffs, right? So he has 2 ki and 3 ki here. So he's guaranteed he's starting the turn at, 11 ki, even without this. If you have the full team built around him like you should, then he's getting an extra 5 ki from here. So he's starting the turn with his full passive up. He's starting the turn with ki plus 10, right? 5, 3, and 2. So he's starting out at 16 ki, right? At the very least, without any links active. That is very, very good. Link said he has Godly Power, Warrior Gods, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Over in a Flash, Shattering the Limit, and Legendary Power. I would say... What do I want to say about this? Obviously, Over in a Flash is not great. I think at this point, this Link has definitely fallen off in the... position the game is in right now. Shattering the Limit, also not very good. So those are his 2 key links, which I think is the reason why they decided to give him as much key support as they did for his passive, right? They gave him 10 key from his full passive active, which you should have. And the reason why they did that is because there's just, you're probably not going to have a key link active on this unit. It's just not going to happen. But yeah. I think you can have a lot of these links active with the gods. I have this pulled up over here. We can actually take a look at what his best linking partners are. So yeah, the gods, the Super Saiyan gods, the 7-year LR character. Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Warrior Gods, Godly Power, and Legendary Power. So what is that? This is link level 1. Is there a way to, yeah, I can change this link level 10. Okay, perfect. So this is what, 15, 25, 40, I guess. Yeah, you just add this into. I don't think this is a multiplicative buff. I think it's just an additional 5%. So yeah, this is 40, 55. So he's getting what, 70% attack from links, just linked up with the LR gods. Plus he's getting an extra 5% chance to crit from the godly power link as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Actually, it tells us. I didn't have to add that up. It tells us. Okay. Yeah, so 70% and then 5% chance to crit. Actually, I didn't realize this even existed here. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's helpful. So yeah, obviously the LR gods are going to be probably the best friend of this character. We also have characters like Kaioken Goku, who actually does have Over in a Flash and Shattering the Limit. I don't really think this is a character you really even need to prioritize giving him his key links to be activated, just because he's starting out with so much key. But you do have the option with, like, you know, this Kaioken Goku. You have characters like the Zeno Goku, whatever you want to say it. But yeah, I think the LR gods probably who you're going to want to be linking up with this unit. 70% support. I mean, the only problem is, I guess, it would be more so for the gods themselves. But I don't think the gods have ever really been a unit that really needs to have prepared for battle active to get their key, just because they have such a good key mechanic, right? It's just 2 extra key per non-rainbow key sphere, right? So that's going to be a good rotation. But I guess the only downside to that is this guy good enough to go in slot 1 for his teams? Because regardless of if you've stacked up or not, you're always going to be better off with this character if he's supering before getting hit, because of the fact that he's gaining the great raise on both 18 and 12 key, right? So if you 18 keys greatly stack and then you get an additional 12 key, you're going to have way more defense than you would have had if you had just, you know, basically put this guy in slot 1 and just ate like the initial hits, right? I mean, I guess he does have the 50% chance to dodge, which is good. But for certain, this character cannot go in slot 1. So I think if you were going to run this guy next to God Goku, you put God Goku in slot 1, and then you put this guy in slot 2. So that might be how I test this guy out. Once he gets his EZA, I'll be doing a showcase on him for sure. I guess, yeah, that's pretty much going to turn out, though, just as, like, does the 50% chance to dodge activate when you get supered immediately? Because if it doesn't, you instantly lose. This guy's not going to have good enough defense to be able to just eat supers in slot 1. There's no chance, unfortunately. I think if they had made this 3 turns instead of 1, and you got lucky with your additionals, then maybe, yeah, you actually could have been able to survive a few supers from, like, non-insanely difficult bosses in slot 1. But yeah, this guy's going to have to dodge to be able to survive a lot of those hits. But damage-wise, I think he definitely does seem like he'll be pretty decent. Again, 155% defense start of turn, 50% multiplicative buff. And don't forget, like, the attack is also stacking. It's not just defense. He's greatly stacking attack for 5 turns. I don't think it's going to make, like, a ton of difference, but it's still nice to have the extra stacking attack. And then, yeah, the the high chance to perform a critical hit, obviously going to matter as well for damage. But let me know down below what you guys think of the EZA for LR God Goku. This is a global first. This is a character who technically we did vote for to get his EZA, although I wouldn't really say Beerus ever had a chance against this God Goku. It's like, yeah, who do you want to EZA? Like, no, it's like, who do you want for the next Dokkan Fest? Do you want, I don't know, UI Goku or Kui? That's pretty much what this poll was. Like, I like Beerus. Beerus is a cool character, but Beerus or God Goku, Beerus is not winning the poll, no matter what. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think of God Goku EZAing. Do you think that they did a good job with his EZA? Do you think they maybe could have given him a little bit more? Yeah, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.